من الامور اللطيفه والمهمه جدا اللي بتحدث هنا في معرض كايرو ICT هو تواجد كل المتخصصين في مجال التعليم وفي مجال التكنولوجيا طبعا، ولكن لو بنتكلم على مجال التعليم فهو تكنولوجيا التعليم بقى، والمتخصصين من العالم كله، والتجربه التعليميه وتكنولوجيا التعليم والتطوير اللي بيحصل فيه دلوقتي من قبل وزاره التربيه والتعليم كان مهم نشوفها بعيون الاخرين وبعيون غير المصريين، يمكن بخبرات مختلفه وبتجارب مختلفه شافوها في العالم كله. مهم برضو نشوف نظرتهم لتجربتنا احنا في كل هذا التطوير الى اين وصلنا فيها. ولذلك رحبوا معايا بضيفتي العزيزه مس جي ريتشاردز هيل، Microsoft Education Lead Middle East and Africa. Hello, Ms. J.
Hello, great to be with you today.
Great to meet you, and I'm very pleased to have this conversation, this interview with you. And let me start by asking you, you are a professional, you have been working in education for years and years. You have seen lots of countries, and you're now leading the Microsoft Education in North Africa and the Middle East. So how do you see Egypt with the education technology and development they've been doing now in this field, if you compare this to other countries?
I think what impresses me about what I've seen today, and I've said this earlier, is the scale of the ambition. We see lots of pilots, proof of concepts. What we don't see is scale. And when you make something big and you have big aspirations and ambition, then you're going to succeed. And we should be defined by our aspirations. And it's very clear to me that Egypt has big aspirations for the education system. Mm-hmm. As you say, I lead Microsoft's education business across the Middle East and Africa. I live in South Africa. And I don't see anything of this scale. And you would think perhaps that in some countries, in other places that I cover, you would. But it's great to see this. I know it's going to have a fantastic impact on learning and teaching, on system improvement. I think it's a great time to be at school in Egypt.
Yeah, really. So what do you see of the benefits you see now in the education in Egypt?
I think what's happening is really, really driving an increase in engagement. And we know that when children are engaged in class, when they're excited about what they're learning, that they will remember more.
Yes, of course.
And also, you know, learning is all about what you can do with knowledge, what you can do with what you've learned. And if you are engaged when you're learning, that sticks. Mm-hmm. And that's going to have a knock-on effect in terms of exam success, in children going to vocational college or university. And a country's growth in GDP each year, it's driven, about 60% of it is driven by young people with a tertiary level education. And you can't have a tertiary level education unless you've had a great school.
Yes.
And what I'm seeing, this thoughtful use of technology, this artificial intelligence, which really is augmented intelligence because it enhances human capability. It doesn't replace it. Mm-hmm. The way that it's being thoughtfully used in the projects that we're seeing in schools across the country, I think is going to drive that system improvement that we're all looking towards.
Okay, so you believe in the AI now going in the education system, and you have seen also the application Fahim that is launched. So how do you see this impacting our children in education?
Well, I've watched the Fahim journey for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And my team are here in country and they've been working with the ministry. And again, I come back to that thing about bold ambition and scale. It's easy to do a project with maybe 10 schools or 200 kids. But rolling it out across thousands of schools takes a lot of effort, a lot of commitment, a lot of skill within the ministry. And I think that development of skills, that human capacity that's been built in government, as well as the projects supporting great learning and teaching in schools, this can have a knock-on effect across government departments because that thoughtful use of AI has applications in healthcare, in defence, in government, in all parts of the economy. And it's that economic growth that we're really all looking for. That is the secret sauce in the success of any country.
Yeah.
But it's all driven by the school system. It starts at school.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And you have seen during the last panel, Dr. Ahmed Daher was actually making like a pilot or a trial on Fahim. And you have seen how he interacted with the application or with this AI tool and the answers, and how he went from one subject to the other. How do you evaluate this experience?
He was very brave, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Doing a live technology demo in front of an audience. Yeah. I wanted to put my hand up and give the answers to the history questions. I was engaged myself in what was happening.
You wanted to answer.
I didn't get a computer till I was 38 years old. I didn't want technology in my classroom at all. I was great with my chalk, and then one day my children taught me to do my lesson plans in PowerPoint. And that was a huge light bulb moment for me. That started my journey around using technology in schools. As a teacher, as a school leader, working in government, and now for Microsoft, I know that one little thing can change a life. It can change a career, but it can also change the life of someone sitting in a classroom who all of a sudden understands the meaning of learning and why they need to learn things.
Yes.
And that's, to me, the power of it. Really, it's a very powerful tool.
Yes, of course.
But it enhances human capability. It doesn't replace it.
Yeah.
And that's the message, I think, that came out loud and clear today from the ministry.
There's a lot of misconception around this point exactly.
Yeah.
Would it ever replace us, or would it be a very helpful tool?
I think any teacher who could be replaced by technology probably should be. But teachers have never, ever been as important as they are now in the history of humankind, because the technology can tell you what to learn.
Yeah.
And it can tell you how to learn it, how to solve an equation, how to answer a history problem. What it can't do is explain to you why you need to learn it, why it's important. How does it link to other subjects?
Yes.
How does it work outside of school? How will it help you in your career, your family, your job? This is the missing piece. And this is why teachers, I don't think, will be replaced by artificial intelligence anytime soon, because they're the glue that sticks the how, the what, and the why together.
Of course.
They guide young people on a learning journey, which hopefully will be the start of a lifelong learning journey.
This interview, I'm very grateful to have it with you, actually.
Of course, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much. And when I was introducing myself and my program to you, and I explained why we named it Group الماميز, you told me that what you have seen here in Egypt is that mommies and the families in general have big impact on education and their children's education. What do you say for the mommies that are now watching us, and what are your advice for them?
I would say, please keep involved with your children's learning. Be involved in what they're doing at school. Be involved with the school if you can, if you have the time.
How involved? How to be involved?
Yeah, we know that outside of school, the biggest influence on children's development and on their education and their success happens in the home.
Yes.
And parental involvement is a huge driver of school success, where parents are motivated to get involved and to understand what's happening, understand what the technology is. What is this AI all about? I'd really encourage them to learn about it with their children. I think it's great for its cohesiveness. It brings families together if you're all involved in the education.
Yeah. So to develop themselves as parents rather than stopping the development or thinking that it was too much for the kids, huh?
I think it's all about balance.
Yeah.
I have grandchildren now, and honestly, I'm shocked by the amount of time that they spend on the screen. I watched one of my grandchildren crawl to the television and press the screen because they thought it was a touch screen.
Yes.
That's the way they're wired nowadays.
Yes.
And I think we can use that to advantage, but it's all about balance. In the classroom, there will be times when a teacher will not use technology, and sometimes they will. They find the right time. Teachers use great tools, whatever they are, books, posters, AI. And so it is at home too, you know? It's all about balance. We don't want to sit there on our screens not talking to each other around the dinner table.
Yeah, of course.
Encourage conversation.
Yes. Thank you so much for this interview. I hope to see you again, inshallah.
Yes, me
Maybe
too.
next year here in the exhibition. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Been great.
شوف الحلقة كاملة من خلال تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، مستقبل يبدأ الآن.